voucher rebate. Offers end 7/31/19. Political panel for some analysis. Michael Crowley is a White House correspondent for the New York Times. Eliana Johnson covers the White House for Politico. Joel Payne is a Democratic strategist, and he appears frequently on our digital network, CBS 10. And Ed O'Keefe also appears frequently on all CBS networks. We keep him very busy. He is our political correspondent here at CBS News. Joel, I want to start with you. The president sent 13 tweets in 24 hours about Congressman Elijah Cummings. It changes the news cycle. It forces the question to be asked of all Democratic candidates, how they respond. What does this mean politically on the campaign trail when the conversation comes back to these divisive issues that are often perceived as being about race?
Well, it's certainly distractive, and I think it forces all of the candidates to, kind of have this come-to-Jesus moment about whether or not the president is racist. That's the question that everybody likes to ask, which I actually think it's rather obvious. You can kind of look into the president's soul when you look at his Twitter platform or his Twitter stream. But the bigger point here is the president is talking about things that normally are reserved for, things at the far-flung reaches of the party. People who are political advisors who are nameless like Lee Atwater, or regional politicians like Jesse Helms. We really in the modern era have not had a president who's spoken like this. And the challenge it creates for Democrats, particularly when you're looking at things like impeachment, and when you're looking at all of the other things that the Democratic Party is contending with, is whether or not they are going to challenge this president in a way that's going to be satiating to their base.
And does it replicate in some way this conversation from 2016 about labeling people, the deplorables moments, what I'm thinking about with Hillary Clinton, when the conversation turns to the president's language being racist? Do people internalize that and say, well, I'm with him because I think I'm being called a racist?
Totally, and that's the risk they run in spending too much time talking about the president's words and intent, and it's why so many of these Democratic presidential candidates, just like Democratic lawmakers and Republican lawmakers for that matter, are frustrated by this because they don't want to necessarily have to answer for everything he says. And that is going to continue to be the real challenge for Democrats out there. Do you talk about him and what he's doing and saying, what he's trying to do and say, or do you try to focus on what you would be for if you are the Democratic nominee? It worked for Democrats last year running for Congress. Let's see if Democrats running for president can remain just as focused on everything else, with whatever he's doing sort of being the constant that's always there, the elephant in the room that everybody knows about. And it's real tricky. We've seen some frustrations from some of these candidates. I still remember what Amy Klobuchar said a few weeks ago. He does this to distract you, and she quoted it, reporters from talking about the issues we are trying to raise on the trail: health care, education funding, all these other issues. And she has a point.
Eliana, how is the Trump campaign feeling about all of this? When we had some economic numbers this week, you saw GDP actually come down to 2.1%, less than many had predicted. Is there some softening, or is there a reason for worry that would cause the need for a distraction, or is this just the president popping off? Well, the one single thing that could really cause alarm in the Trump campaign is a downturn in the economy. A one-off statistic, an economic downturn over 1 month, is not enough cause for alarm, but a persistent trend in that direction certainly is. So we're not there yet. I don't think you can link it to the president's comments. However, I do think the president's comments are something of a strategy. They serve dual purposes. The comments directed at Cummings are a pushback on oversight. They originated from an African-American Republican operative appearing on Fox News in a discussion about Elijah Cummings' role in oversight of what's happening with the border. So the president is saying this oversight is illegitimate, and it's also a way to animate both his base and part of a sort of long-shot attempt to gin up African-American voters by saying this person who served in Congress for over 3 decades is more focused on investigating the president than he is on serving his own district. That is the very least the argument that the president is making. Now, what is happening inside the White House around this? I mean, you heard the chief of staff saying none of this was racist. He understands why it's being interpreted that way, but it's the president rejecting, basically, he says, illegitimate attempts at oversight.
Yeah, well, I think it's very reactive, as has been the case throughout the Trump presidency. We know specifically on the tweets about AOC and Ilhan Omar and the squad a week or two ago that White House aides did not see those tweets coming. I don't know specifically about the Cummings tweet. And there was a plan to try to get the president to dial them back and to say that they had been misinterpreted. And instead, the president doubled down. And to the extent that the White House was trying to put some kind of a strategy around these tweets, the president didn't want to follow it. So I think as we've seen throughout this presidency, Trump is there, basically in the residence. Frequently, Eliana, with a useful reminder, watching Fox News, responding to Fox News, and you almost can't oversee how much his public commentary is driven by what he's seeing on Fox and Friends, Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity's shows. It's an astounding phenomenon. And his aides are just trying to kind of reverse engineer from the tweets that they see. What did he mean? What's the strategy here? And then when they try to put some kind of strategy together for the second day, the president ignores it.
I think that there's this popular thought that this is a part of some supercharged strategy. The strategy of supercharged debate to get the president's base excited. I don't know if the proof is there for that. I looked at a recent Fox poll that said he had an 87% approval rating with Republicans. I looked at Mitt Romney's approval rating from 2012 when he was the Republican standard bearer. He was also at 87%. So I don't know if there's any proof that this Republican Party is more loyal to Donald Trump than other Republicans have been. I think there is standard loyalty to the Republican standard bearer, but I don't know if this strategy is working, and it's actually pushing away moderates, pushing away swing voters, and between three House Republican retirements this week, I wonder how much that's linked to the president's language of late.
I think there's some truth to that. I don't think there's strategy, but I think there's instinct with Trump, and I think his instincts are often politically savvy. And I think your point on Romney misses something in that Romney was a conventional Republican who Republicans, the party thought to do conventional things, and I think the thing that's caught people's attention about Trump is that the Republican Party has followed him and stuck behind him to far more unconventional, outrageous places that I think the country never really thought that the party and politicians would follow somebody who has never been in politics before. And tell me where the Democratic Party is headed this week with this round of debate.
It's a big moment. I think anyone who doesn't think these things matter should look at surveys taken in the last month since the first debate. Were we talking as much about Julian Castro or Kamala Harris a month ago before those debates? No, they had very good performances. Were the doubts about Elizabeth Warren's viability still there? Yes, and they've been somewhat diminished because of the powerful performance she gave. So you have two interesting setups this week. You have to focus on the two people at the middle of the stage, probably most of all. Tuesday night, Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, essentially, brothers and sisters in arms when it comes to sort of the liberal wing of the Democratic Party and the ideas they're trying to push. Do they go after each other? And how much incoming do they take from the lesser-known moderates on stage with them that are trying to break into that top tier and hoping that they get a moment that buys them kind of this temper? And then, of course, Wednesday night, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, round two. Those of us who watch politics will pop extra popcorn for that one, probably. You wonder where that goes. The other X factor in that, of course, is Cory Booker, the New Jersey senator, who still can't find any traction, but continues to be the guy that starts fights with the vice president and sort of forces conversation about some issues from the beach past. So definitely a critical moment. And remember, the stakes are raised now going from July to September. You got to hit higher polling thresholds, higher fundraising thresholds. So those that are struggling have to use Tuesday or Wednesday night to make that happen.
Joel, did having special counsel Robert Mueller testify this week backfire for Democrats?
I think that's going to be a popular thought. And, listen, it's that old thing. If you listen to a debate on the radio, you might think that Democrats won on the points, but if you watched it in this era of Trump politics, this political theater, the special counsel did not necessarily perform quite as well. I think the real takeaway for me is that the second happiest person in Washington after the president might be Speaker Pelosi, and it's because her thought, her way of approaching impeachment probably wins out the week because now her caucus is a little bit more chastened in terms of their thought about moving forward with impeachment. We even saw Adam Schiff earlier this week said that it's very likely the only way to remove the president from office is at the ballot box, not through impeachment. And I think that that's significant for the speaker.
Eliana, there was some reporting in the Washington Post writing about Robert Mueller, who is before 75 years old. He is the peer of the president, but it was suggesting that there were real doubts and conversations behind the scenes about whether he was up for it, for the kind of questioning that he endured. Is this a below-the-belt hit on a public servant, or is this a legitimate question? I don't think it's below the belt, and I think it's the job of reporters to bring out to the public the stuff that we reporters are privy to behind the scenes here in Washington. And those are the things that smaller allies had been saying in green rooms and in the hallways of Congress. And I think it was important for the public to know that these are things, and it would have been fair had Mueller been 64 or 54 or 44. He happens to be 74, but these are the things that had been a real concern. Yes, they've been whispered by his critics with some glee, but also the people close to Mueller had expressed real concern that he was not up to this testimony, and I think the American public saw that bear out on all day on Wednesday. It was pretty painful. Michael, the president said he had 2 wins this week on the immigration front, but one of the things he also counted as a win was what happened overseas. Boris Johnson ascending to become the Prime Minister of the UK. He's described him as resembling himself.
That's right. That's right. Well, this is going to be an amazing relationship to watch. In some ways, these men are very different. I mean, Boris Johnson is a classical scholar, erudite, wrote a biography of Winston Churchill, loves to quote, great literature. Pretty different approach than the president. At the same time, these men are both entertainers who have put their fingers on something in the pulse of our political moment in the world right now, which is a kind of populism, a kind of anything goes style. Boris Johnson sort of gleefully used the word dude in his first public speech, kind of breaking the old rules and projecting a sort of authenticity that people seem to be craving. I think it's hard to know exactly substantively how this relationship works out, although I will say the special relationship is probably going to improve.
We will be watching it, and we will be back in a moment.
It's 1:21. Here's your traffic update. Again, heading into town, the problem remains on the Schuylkill Expressway, a backup eastbound. It starts just after the boulevard, continues to the Vine Street Expressway. You go from 3 lanes down to 1, only the left lane getting by between the Vine Street Expressway and South Street in that ongoing repair project. On the westbound side with Schuylkill, we're seeing delays around South Street. Heavy again around the Vine Street Expressway. And slow from City Avenue out to Gladwin, around the Conshohocken curve from Henderson out to 202. Blue Route South still heavy between the Westchester Pike and Route 1. Northbound heavy McCade and Baltimore Pike. Delays on 95 near the Commodore Barry Bridge. You're coming back from the shore in New Jersey, definitely heavy on the Parkway northbound at the Expressway. Expressway west slow at the toll plaza at 73 at Sicklerville, and then on 42 northbound from College Road to 295. In the KOW 24-hour traffic center, I'm Brian Ramona.
At Fidelity, we believe nothing should come between you and your money. So we're introducing zero account fees with zero minimums to open an account. All because we want you to invest with zero trade-offs. Visit fidelity.com/value to learn more. Zero account minimums and zero account fees apply to retail brokerage accounts only. Expenses charged by investments such as funds and managed accounts and for commissions, interest charges, or other expenses for transactions may still apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE, SIPC.
At Westin Hotels and Resorts, our entire reason for being is your well-being, which is why our wellness offerings are curated with one thing in mind: you. An Eat Well menu crafted with fresh ingredients, an on-demand fitness gear lending program that allows you to pack light, stay fit, and our heavenly bed that helps you conquer the day by giving you a restful night. All of it just for you, so you can rise. Explore at Westin.com, a member of Marriott Bonvoy.
CBS News national security correspondent David Martin got rare access to U.S. troops serving in the Middle East. He spent 10 days with the top U.S. commander in the region, General Frank McKenzie. David's report begins at Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia.
Traveling with General Frank McKenzie, the top U.S. commander for the Middle East, was a journey across a landscape of past, present, and potentially future conflict. At an air base in the middle of Saudi Arabia, 500 American troops, protected by a battery of Patriot air defense missiles, are laying the groundwork for the worst-case scenario against Iran. It looks like this is the beginning of preparations for if these tensions turn into a war.
Well, I prefer to say it's like this. It's a signal that we're not going to be challenged by Iranian malign activities.
I had been here before. In 1990, on the eve of the first Gulf War, when this base was chock-a-block with American warplanes ready to put out the lights in Baghdad. Now, nearly 30 years later, Mackenzie was taking the first steps in another buildup, only this time to put out the lights in Tehran.
How many planes could you bring in here? There have been a lot of planes here in the past. I won't get into exact details, but you could bring as many as you want.
It hasn't come to that yet, but the U.S. and Iran remain on a collision course. Within the space of 2 days, as Mackenzie flew over the Persian Gulf to Afghanistan, the USS Boxer took down 2 Iranian drones that came too close, and the Iranian Revolutionary Guards hijacked a British tanker.
She was fired upon, subsequently boarded, taken under Iranian custody, and is now deep in Iranian territorial waters.
Exactly the kind of incidents that could spiral out of control. So Mackenzie cut short his visit to Afghanistan, where 14,000 American troops are still fighting America's longest war, and flew to Qatar, where the U.S. has built state-of-the-art command centers to run these seemingly forever wars.
General Mackenzie is the top military commander, not just for the war in Afghanistan, but for Iraq and Syria as well. The 10 days of getting on and off airplanes with him has made it very clear his #1 mission is war with Iran. How to head it off? Failing that, how to fight it.
Next, Mackenzie flew to a desert base in southern Syria in a scene straight out of a Mad Max movie. Those American Special Forces are part of the 1,000 U.S. troops still here, hunting down the remnants of ISIS. Not by coincidence, this base also sits astride the main land route which connects Iran to its Syrian allies in Damascus.
We're standing in the middle of the Damascus-Baghdad highway, and the base is right in the middle of it, so certainly it blocks a major channel of communication.
B-22 Ospreys carried us out of Syria, in-flight refueling required, for a visit to the Boxer, which had taken down those Iranian drones.
Mission for Greenwell and ready.
Nobody wants war, but as Captain Ron Dowdell told us, the Boxer is already counting its kills. So I expected to see the silhouette of the drone painted on the bridge. How come it's not there?
Wait till we get in port.
Our thanks to David and CBS News cameraman Tony Furlow for their reporting. We'll be right back. That's it for us today. Thank you for watching. And if you missed the broadcast on television, Face the Nation can always be seen on CBS All Access, our network's digital subscription, video on demand, and live streaming service. You can download the app for both CBS News and CBS All Access on our website at facethenation.com. Replays are also on our digital network, CBS Ad. I'm Margaret Brennan, and this has been Face the Nation. Today's guests were acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney, Senate Intelligence Committee Vice Chairman Mark Warner, and 2020 presidential candidates Julian Castro and Marianne Williamson. The executive producer of Face the Nation is Mary Haber. This broadcast was directed by Allison Hawley. Face the Nation originates from CBS News in Washington. For more Face the Nation, we're online at facethenation.com, and you can follow Face the Nation and CBS Radio News, Twitter, and Instagram. Face the Nation is also rebroadcast on our digital network, CBSN, at 11 a.m., 3 p.m., and 6 p.m. Eastern every Sunday.
Face the Nation on KYW News Radio is sponsored by the Haverford Trust. Quality investing for more than 4 decades. Welcome to Office Depot. How can I help you?
We're getting her organized for back to school.
Yep, got my green notebook and folder for chemistry.
I mean, science is always green because, of course.
Right, because math always has red notebooks.
Right, because blue notebooks are for English.
And yellow are for social studies. And purple is for music. And, are we twins?
No. Get everything on their list from the advisors at Office Depot Office Max. This week's doorbusters full backpacks for $10. $10 in-store or online at OfficeDepot.com. Limit to exclude New Balance.
Today, business happens here, and virtually anywhere. Because today, innovative companies are reinventing the way business happens. And they need people who can keep up. With the expertise and technology to get packages to over 150 million delivery points. So, who can help you deliver the future of commerce? The United States Postal Service. See why we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone at USPS.com/future.
Hey, it's Justin Drobick with Sunday's UV forecast, sponsored by your Delaware Valley BMW Centers. It remains very high at 8 out of 11. Wear hats, sunglasses, and sunscreen, especially between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. with a burn time within 15 minutes.
Hurry into a Delaware Valley BMW Center during the BMW Summer on Sales event and receive a credit of up to $4,500 on select models, now through July 31st. Details at bmwcenters.com.
Who are the special people and organizations making the Delaware Valley the best it can be?
I'm KYW's Brianna Bond. The nonprofit Philly Girls in Motion was created to give elementary and middle school girls more opportunities to get involved in sports. But Executive Director Jillian Green says there's more to it than just the love of the game.
Be a team player. Be confident. Be proud of your body.
Girls learn what's called the B curriculum with every lesson, thinking bigger picture about themselves and how they can become leaders and amazing, empowered